Okay, here we go, guys. Welcome back. Now we have contract offers, as you can see. We aren't staying back with the Rebels. We don't have to. We can choose a different contract. So it seems like we don't have to fulfill the years, because you see down here we've got a contract duration where it's for 2 years, but you don't have to fill out the 2 years. You can, in the next year, you can sign a different contract. So I think that's what we can go about with this. So we've got a few more contract offers. Here we go. London Irish is back at it again with the contract offer. Glasgow, Auckland Blues are here. Parma, Otago Highlanders, the Chiefs are here. Cardiff, Waratahs, Crusaders are here. University of Canberra Vikings, Queensland Country, and the DHL Western Province is all here. Obviously, I'm going to stay in the Super Rugby, so some of these are going to get crossed out. Blues is here, 119 for 3 years contract. Highlanders want me for 3 years, 114. And Waratahs, 105, 3 years. I'm not playing for them, definitely not. They will be crossed out. Crusaders are here, 3 years, 1,000k. And I think that's all it for the Super Rugby teams now. Blues, I'm looking at the ratings now. Crusaders, their rating's up 91%. Look at that, 91 star rating. That's pretty high. That's a lot. Waratahs 83. They're pretty high. Highlanders are 71. Blues 71. So I'm sort of leaning towards Crusaders. We had fun in the Rebels. I think being a team like the Rebels, it was hard. It was a struggle, but I think that's what made it interesting. And I loved it that way, actually. Just trying to pull off some wins, some impossible wins even, throughout the season. But it'd be nice to head back and play for some teams like the Crusaders. So I'm sort of leaning towards Crusaders. I love the red. And also what I want to put together is a challenge. I want to challenge myself. I'm going to live up to the name of the game. Look at that rhyming accidentally. I'm living up to the name of the game and putting myself out a challenge, and I'm going to call it the Dan Carter Challenge. That's right. How cliche is that? The Dan Carter Challenge. I want to set myself out a Dan Carter Challenge so that, when I'm going to a game, when I'm going into games, I want to at least perform, if not as good, or I want to perform as good, if not better, than Dan Carter has ever performed in his career, in his whole entire career, because he's one of the best. He's probably the best rugby player in the world. Or if he's not, then he's one of the best rugby players in the world. But I want to set myself out a challenge. We're currently 19 now. Our guy, he is currently 19 years old. Dan Carter joined the All Blacks at 21, but he also debuted with Crusaders at the age of 21. So we sort of beat that. We sort of get an early start. I mean, we started last year with the Rebels. Now we may head into the Crusaders for the next year, 2017. And speaking of last year, we won the Four Nations and the Bledisloe Cup series. Congratulations. And now we're heading back into Super Rugby year 2017, another year in Rugby Challenge. Alright, so in 2003, he was 21, he went into the Crusaders, and then in the same year he debuted as an All Black. We sort of beat that because we debuted earlier. Moving on, 2 years later, after his debut with the All Blacks, and after his debut with the Crusaders, so this is our 1 year later. So we made the All Blacks in 2016. Alright. He became World Best Rugby Player of the Year and New Zealand Player of the Year 2 years after his All Black debut. So we need to get up in those mix of becoming one of the best players of the year. And we can figure that out by the end of the year results of the players like we saw before. And we need to become number one is the goal, right? We need to become the best player of the year, and that would determine us being the best player, being the best IRB best player of the year, World Rugby best player of the year from 2 years from now. If we can make it into if we can become the best player this year, that would be even better. That would beat Dan Carter's record, right? Because we only just joined the All Blacks last year, 2016, and he became best player 2 years after his debut, after his All Black debut. So I'm just gonna write that down. So if we can get number 1 by the end of this year, we would have beaten his achievement. Alright. Career highlights. His best one was in 2005 up against the British Lions. Obviously the British Lions aren't in this game, so he can't really go out and fulfill that achievement that he did in that game, where he scored 2 tries, 5 penalty kicks, 4 conversions, and a total of 33 points down in Wellington with a New Zealand victory of 48-18 against the Lions. Rolling on, 2008. 3 years later, he signs a contract to a French club. Now this is where it might get interesting, because we may have to sign over. If we're going to follow in the steps of Dan Carter, we may sign over to a French club. And how long is that? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So 3 years after our number 1 spot of player of the year, 3 years after that, we're going to head into a different club, a European club, preferably French. A French club. Alright, so we're going to keep that in mind. So we may do a bit of swappy. Alright, moving on. He signs with a club 2008. He returns back to New Zealand in 2009. So 1 year later. So he's there for 1 year in the French club. He comes back to New Zealand, back to the Crusaders for 2009. So we signed to a French club for 1 year. That's it. And then we return back to New Zealand. And then 2014, roll on 2014, because he's played a Super Rugby all the way through here. 2014, he's injured, so he doesn't really play that much, which is probably his downhill of his career. But then he gets back up. 2015 comes back for the World Cup. Alright, we got the World Cup in 2019 in this game. Alright, that's not too far away. That's 2 years from now. That's 2 years from now. That's the same year where we got to become Player of the Year, I think. And then after the World Cup, we become part of the French club. So hopefully I can get all that done. But anyway, let's pick a club. That's pretty much it. That's the highlights. That's the challenge that I'm going to set out there. If you have Rugby Challenge 3, try the challenge. Challenge yourself and do the Dan Carter challenge, right? I want to do it. And what other team is better to start with than the Crusaders themselves? So I'm going to sign with the Crusaders for 1 year and carry on with them. And here we go. It's been signed. It's done. It's delivered. We're about to get underway. We're up against the Brumbies. We've got a few inboxes. I'll check them out in just a second. I'm just going to write some notes down. Let's click on that. Alright, recruitment. I'm looking. We've got one here. The following players have been selected for Chile and will not be able to play this weekend. Ignacio Rossi. Alright. Good luck over there, my man, Ignacio. Alright, Crusaders have today announced the signing of former Rebels inside centre Ty Hotstop for 2017 Super Rugby competition. I'm excited about being here. They're a great club with high expectations, Ty Hotstop said at the press announcement today. This is only going to make me work harder and keep me on my toes. It's going to be an absolute honour to put on the Crusaders jersey for the first time. I can't wait. And I can't wait for the Dan Carter challenge. Let's get it going. Here we go. The following players have been selected for Spain and will not be able to play. Available to play this weekend. Augustin Caballero. Good luck over there in Spain, my Spanish brother. we're gonna get going. Let's get back. Let's get it. Round 1 is starting. There is no preseason, and we're gonna head back into it. We're currently coming second, tie with Highlanders in the New Zealand Conference. I'm just gonna check out the competition info overall, and here we go. It's looking like that. It's looking like that. So I'll see you guys in that video.